Hi, everybody. Welcome to another session of the Portfolio Power Up series. We are on week 5, and I can believe that we're already on week 5. I'm Juliet, and if you've been following us on LinkedIn, in YouTube, or you are joining this because ADP Liz, thank you so much. As I was saying, we are on week 5 of the Portfolio series, and but this point we have talked a lot of stuff. We have so many guest speakers. Oh my goodness, and I forgot to put my presentation deck to show you what are the other guest speakers coming up. We still have 2 weeks of guest speakers. Okay, let me do this really quick. Share my screen. I forgot. I got distracted, but here we are. So this coming Saturday, we are going to have Hansu. We're going to talk a lot more about storytelling. That's what we're doing today with Kristina. We will do a little more on Saturday. The good thing about the Saturday sessions is that we usually have small groups after the guest speakers, so there will be a little more interaction. That is really good. Then we're going to have Claudia on Tuesday. If you are a product manager and you're working in your portfolio and you want to know how to present and show off your skills, Claudia is going to help you with that. And a last one, and I feel like this always really popular, is like, what do recruiters looking for in portfolios and how we can make sure that we have all the information that they require and they can see it. So that will be for Saturday, November 30th. And then to finish up, we are going to have one more, that is where our participants are going to be showing off their case study and we are going to give them feedback. This is one of the things and the skills that we've been working in the last 5 weeks, is like how to help each other to get feedback and learn from each other. I feel like that's the big one. But let's start with what we have for today, that is the art of storytelling, perfecting your portfolio for the right fit with Kristina. So hi there. How are you, Kristina? Really nice to finally have you here.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Excited. I feel like this is going to, again, help all our viewers and whoever is working in their portfolio to keep working on storytelling and how to make sure that our portfolios are going to show the right content and the right information for the right people. So I love this. So I'm going to leave the floor. The floor is yours. Remember, for all the viewers, if you are in YouTube, LinkedIn, make sure that you put all your questions on the comments. I will go through questions at the end with Kristina. As you know, if you've been following this, I have always tons of questions. So please make sure that you put them on the comments. Again, Kristina, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kristina Khudiakova, and I'm the founding product designer at one of the fastest growing startups in Miami. And over the course of my career, I've not only developed and tested more than 5 portfolios for myself, but have also created and refined countless portfolios for my friends, colleagues, and other professionals in the field. And today I want to share with you some valuable insights about creating a design portfolio that truly stands out, specifically to talk about how different companies value different aspects of portfolios and what's crucial for you to tailor your portfolio to match the company you're aiming for. We will start with a little bit of theory, and then I will show you specific examples and my previous portfolios and the current ones. So let's get started by breaking down the types of companies and what they value most when reviewing design portfolios. And again, it's been tested by me and other people by the amount of responses that received during the recruitment process, by the amount of interviews scheduled, by the amount of different types of companies responding to a specific portfolio or not. So understanding the company spectrum, and it would be a spectrum from big companies on one side and to startups and very small companies' projects on the other side. And to begin, let's discuss big corporations. When we talk about larger, more established corporate companies, think about organizations like Google, IBM, or major healthcare corporations. These companies value depth in your work. They don't care as much about the number of projects in your portfolio. What really matters to them is the quality and thoroughness of your case studies. So these organizations want to see a well-structured narrative that walks them through your entire process, your entire work process, from if that's a design process, from the initial research phase to the final outcome. And they are particularly interested in understanding your problem solving skills, your decision making process, and how you measure the impact of your design. So these companies usually have like bigger structures set up, and specific processes that you need to abide by. And if you showcase that in your case study, that would be very helpful for them to understand that you're ready for this and you're the right fit for the bigger corporate structure. So if you're targeting a role in a larger corporation, make sure to include at least one or two comprehensive case studies. These case studies should not only tell a story, but also demonstrate your strategic thinking and your role within a larger team or organization. So when structuring these case studies, if we're talking about the specific case studies, it's important to remember a few things. And this is a moment to maybe take some notes or really pay attention. So start by defining the problem you were trying to solve. Then clearly outline your research methods, whether it's user interviews, data analysis, or competitive research. So these companies value having in-depth thinking, not just pretty pictures, right? So these two things are probably the most important ones. Then walk the viewer through your process, showcase your work, sketches, prototypes, and in the end, it's important to also finally explain the results and reflect on your like beginning of the case study. Did your solution lead to measurable outcomes? Did it improve user engagement or streamline a business process? Right? Yeah, so this was a lot of information, but this was about the big corporations. So structure, depth, and thinking. On the other side of the spectrum, there will be startups. Startups are a different breed altogether. Unlike big corporations, startups often prioritize versatility and adaptability. They want to see a wide range of projects that demonstrate your ability to tackle different types of problems. So, moving fast and thinking outside of the box would help with the creation of these types of portfolios. This means that your portfolio for a startup should include a mix of projects, large and small, that highlight different skills and approaches. It would be great to have different industries involved. It would be great to include a bunch of different things, maybe even small projects that you worked on the side, or like your personal ideas, personal projects. So anything would really help in this case. Startups value employees that can wear multiple hats. So showcasing variety is key. For example, as a designer for a corporate job, I would put everything's related specifically to the job I'm applying to. So if I'm applying to be a product designer, I would only include stuff related to product design. Very in-depth case studies, but like specifically about the product design. But if I'm applying to startups and small companies, then I would put that I also do graphic design, that I also done um, marketing, social media design, that I've also done 3D modeling. Then I've done like filmmaking or like photography on the side, like anything like creative or related to design in any way, like I would showcase in the portfolio if I'm applying for startups or smaller organizations. So that's also like a big difference between the two. Um, yes. So in practice, it could mean also having quick iterative projects where you highlight your ability to ideate, prototype rapidly, and adapt your designs based on user feedback. Um, Startups want to see that you're not afraid of pivoting and that you can thrive in environments where things are constantly changing. So maybe outlining in like a quick case study that we started here but moved there, like showcasing the change. It would also be cool for them to see any redesigned processes or restructuring of the product, or like any pivot or change that has happened in your work before. That's also very useful. And then on the spectrum from corporate organizations to startups, we also have like all these companies in between. These are the medium-sized businesses or also growing startups that may have more structure than a small startup, but they're still less rigid than a large corporation. And for these companies, you need a balanced portfolio. So here you'd want to include a few detailed case studies to show your depth of thinking, but also include few smaller, more varied projects to demonstrate your versatility. Also, like showcase different things that you've done. So this way, you will be showing that you can think big, but also deliver under different circumstances. And here we covered this spectrum from corporate to mid-sized organizations to startups. Also, I would like to um, pinpoint that a big difference happens between remote jobs and in-person jobs. So yes, we would need to discuss how the portfolio would differ depending on whether you're applying for a remote position or in-person position, because here the recruiters also value different things. So for remote positions, companies are keen on seeing your communication skills front and center. So they need to know that you can work independently and manage your time effectively even without being in the office. Therefore, your portfolio should be clear, concise, easy to navigate, as always, but also use storytelling to make your thought process transparent and ensure your work is documented in a way that leaves no questions unanswered. So, the more information you put in, describe the processes that you've done. If you worked on remote projects before that were completely online, it would also be important to include those and describe what were you doing, how are things moving, highlight examples where you've collaborated remotely and effectively, what tools were you using. Um, that would also be important if you're applying for remote positions for recruiters to see. And for in-person roles, on the other hand, companies want to know how well you work within a team, right? So your portfolio should showcase projects where collaboration was key, maybe showcase like here you worked in a team, highlight moments where you work side by side with members in person, maybe even pictures of your whiteboards or pictures of like sticky notes, wireframes, something physical that in person that highlights that you can work well in the office. Um, yes, include insights into how you contributed to brainstorming sessions, design sprints, workshops, maybe pictures from conferences, Emphasize your soft skills and how you've navigated complex team dynamics. So yes, those are in-person roles. So they differ, remote positions and in-person roles. It is possible to combine the two and include um, different things for both inside one portfolio. Just make sure to include these things, especially if you're applying for a remote position or in-person position, depending on which one you're targeting. These 2 points are very important. Also, if we're talking about tailoring your portfolio to our company size or to our role type, we also need to talk about tailoring your portfolio to an industry. And yes, as um, product manager, product designer, you can technically be in any industry. It's pretty easy to switch, but most companies and most industries value that you have some experience from the industry to the industry that you're applying to. And here, mm, hmm, having a real project or a personal prototype can set you apart. This like project related to the industry doesn't have to be from your professional experience. It could be a passion project or even a concept you develop to showcase your understanding of the industry's challenges and constraints. But having that example in your portfolio is very, very valuable. So if you know that you want to, for example, target medical or healthcare industry, create something medically related. They would just, while scrolling, they will see it and it would get into the brain. It doesn't have to be an actual professional experience. That's like one of the tricks I've learned that help a lot. People just see one of the designs and like already like you. And the same applies to crypto or fintech industry. And uh, crypto designs is one of the easiest fields to break into due to its relatively new status and growing demand for designers, product managers who can create blockchain concepts. They often value quick and adaptable design thinking. And so, having, if you're targeting crypto or fintech, very important to have some examples in your portfolio. But I also think it's one of the easiest industry to create those designs for, because there's so many new things coming up and maybe you have an idea for one, or you've been interested in a project, and this would be, I think, pretty easy to just come up with yourself. Don't really need any professional experience, and put it in your portfolio and apply for crypto and fintech things. Back in the day when I like was looking for a job or just wanted something quick, like a quick project, always was like targeting tailoring to crypto and fintech, since they're always looking for people to join. I've heard a lot that, oh, it's dying industry, but I do not think so. There's been so many demand for good designers and good product managers, and having 1 or 2 projects in crypto and fintech space, I think will help you a lot to showcase in your portfolio. And so, yeah, so now we talked about different company sizes. So from big corporations, mid-sized corporations, to startups. We talked about remote positions versus in-person roles, and we talked about tailoring your portfolio based to the industry that you want to go into and you want to apply to, right? So now I would like to show you some actual examples of what I'm talking about, so you kind of see where my head is at. So, Juliet, if you could help me share my screen, please.
Yes, if you want to change, I can see that you haven't started sharing the screen. that you want, if you can change that first, and then I will share the screen. And for everybody that is watching us, just to make sure that you type in your questions on the comments. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, make sure that you put the questions on the comments, and we will go through those when we are ready. But there you go. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we're good. Perfect. So I'll just share with you some examples. So for example, this is my portfolio currently that's been doing pretty well. I've gotten like a lot of responses, a lot of um, interview um, requests. And I would like to just showcase what is here that I believe helps me a lot. So I am a product designer and I'm applying for product designer roles. So not graphic design, but more like specific technical projects. So you can see that the whole structure of my site is a dashboard like where they can navigate like to see things on the left side and then all the information on the right. So this mimics the the dashboard or how most like technical sites projects are built right now, showcasing that here I can build this. This already looks good, so my portfolio is already like one of the cases that like I can showcase. Here I'm targeting mid-sized companies, so not really corporate, but not smaller startups. And I have a very like variety of projects. And if like I scroll here, I showcase them all here, and there's a lot of them to like show to smaller companies that here I can do a bunch of things, showcasing to startups that I can also do 3D modeling, infographics, game designs. I have a bunch of different industries. Some of these projects were not, I didn't actually work for them. Like, for example, game designs, they were purely personal. I was just having fun creating some designs, and here I'm showcasing them. Maybe if I ever decide to go into game industry, they already see, oh, I have some game designs. And some of the projects here are like this, and I encourage it because it shows the recruiters that you can do it all. And so having this on the first page, like all of these projects, really shows helps like recruiters when they go in, they do a quick scroll. Okay, you have a lot. I like how it looks like. Okay, good. We'll move you to a different pile. But then also for like bigger companies that value actual case studies, I do have a couple here pinned. So two of my projects are pinned on the top. Well, yeah, let's check it out. So for example, this one. So in my case study, I have kind of like the top, what is passes. This is a little intro, context, defining the problem, user needs. So this goes like into research tab, like key insights for the research. And then I go into like actual flows, showcasing like different design solutions, showcasing like prototypes of like engineering handoff, showcasing a bunch of different things. This is like a very big, pretty good case study, showcasing different things within the the portfolio. And so then I also in the end have some other pinned, for example, to go into another case study and to see other things. And all of these projects are also accessible on the left side. So one of the biggest like issues that I try to solve with like this left menu is that when people open up a case study and it's full screen, like that's all they see. They only see like one project. They don't see much else, like what's happening, what's going on. Like what else do you have you like only worked on one project? They already forgot you, right? And so having this kind of menu helps to navigate, I have all projects. So I have this many projects that I can browse through and also read. So that helps a lot, has helped a lot. In the beginning, when I was creating this portfolio, I didn't have any projects here. It only had this main navigation. So to go to a different project, you had to go back home and to navigate to like another project, or scroll all the way down and to choose like one of the pinned ones. But having this left side navigation has helped a lot, and I've actually seen actual results from it. And so in the navigation, we also have projects, and then experience. Um, this has also helped me with um, targeting like bigger companies, showcasing like in-person skills, showcasing that here I'm a speaker, here I'm a mentor, here this is my design course, I've done this, this is my expertise. So this kind of page, maybe not front and center on the homepage, but is also pretty helpful. So this is my portfolio. But then I have a couple more designs to show you. So this has actually been my portfolio a couple years ago, and this has done surprisingly well. Like now I look at it and I'm like actually surprised, like how is this good? But this actually has done pretty well with smaller companies, with like startups. They were all obsessed with it, especially like crypto, and like more like fun projects and fun startups. They were like pretty obsessed with this portfolio, and I've had like a huge turnaround. So this portfolio is just one page. There's no navigation, no like other pages. Everything's on this page, and you just infinitely scroll. So here uh, I showed like a bunch of work that I've done, and then when you scroll, I have like one project is one screen. So here we have this, then next project, then next project, and that's all. I don't show anything else. I don't have any case studies. um, there's nothing really here, right? Then this, and you just infinitely scroll through all of these different projects, and then in the end I have some like information. And honestly, this has been like pretty good, especially for like recruiters that like don't spend as much time going through this. Like for smaller companies, they just do a quick scroll. I like it looks good, yeah, let's ask her for an interview. So this is this is great. And then I can also show you some. I believe this person has a great example of what corporate companies are looking for. Uh, I really like this portfolio. So this is his like homepage, and then you scroll, and he has like different projects: first project, second, third, fourth, and I actually love this case study that he's done. I think it's amazing. So he has like all of the introduction here, like my role, um, a bunch of different things. He showcases pictures here, like conducting the interviews. Here I conducted the interview. This is the survey that we've collected. This is the insights that we got. This is the problem that we solved with this whiteboard. And like this is what corporate like wants to see. This is really impressive from like recruiter standpoint. Like this is amazing. And then he draws explains my takeaways. He creates these little graphics. This all moves. So this is actually a pretty great case study, and it just keeps going. So you scroll and scroll, and there's like so much to see. So yeah, this is probably my favorite case study. And then in the end, he has more projects to go. Mm, Another great example is here with this portfolio. So he has like pretty similar structure: name, LinkedIn resume, and then all of his projects that goes like this. He's portfolio is more tailored towards like corporate structure, since he only has case studies. So even though he has like more projects that he has worked on, he chose to only place this specific like case studies that when you open up, it's also like a pretty extensive case study. And I really like how this is positioned as well. So he showcases like the findings and um, like research and like basic things of the case study in a very informative and a cool way. So this is like design in itself, right? So this is great. This moving showcasing like research, right? Interviews. This is the flow. This is this. So pretty well done as well. Um, so yeah.
Yes,
Mm,
love it. Oh, okay. This is when we start seeing infinitive. Thank you so much. And I really enjoy both. I mean, all the portfolios that you show, but I feel like the one that you really like with the information, I think is to the point, and I feel like that's what recruiters and I feel like design directors that I'm trying to see in a really quick way how people is working, how they doing. At the end of the day, your portfolio won't be your case study presentation, and I feel like this is a distinction that people needs to know. Most likely, this won't be what they will presenting for a case study. In a case study, if they have to do it in front of a panel, they will show a little more substance and a little more process. But we are not doing case study presentation here. We are doing portfolio. So thank you so much for this, Kristina. I really
yes.
enjoy the breakdown of the companies. And I think for people, this is really important when they're thinking about where would I like to work and what kind of work would I like to do. And I'm going to bring Vivek's question here because I feel like this is a hard one. Yes. What are the best practices for tailoring my portfolio to suit different types of companies, such as startup, corporates, or creative? I mean, I feel like when we are looking for a job and maybe we are studying, we we don't know exactly where we like to work and we're down to work in any space. So what recommendation would you give him?
Um, yes. So I would try to find a balance between like depth and variety. So still have one or two case studies, not on the like the front like homepage, but like if the like usually corporate recruiters, if they want to dive deeper and dive into your portfolio, they will find the information. So even if you don't place it on the homepage, which for like quick companies like startups, like quick recruiting process, right? They just scroll past, just like see what they first see, and it will be enough. So kind of having that as a front, so having like a bunch of different things showcased in the front page, and then for recruiters that want to like have a deeper dive, have a separate pages within it. I think that like would help. So having a case study, right, or two, just in case you want to go into like a bigger company, but also showcasing some of your work, and maybe having even a separate page for like some of your fun projects or fun stuff that separates you from the others. So, for example, I do 3D models, so I would include it there. Or like I create short films or photography, I would include it there. Just for like startups or for small companies to also see that.
I love that. Yes. And I feel like this is, again, a balance to know what to add or not and see if it's working or not. I feel like that's the biggest one, if it's working or not. And I love your comparison of your old portfolio to the new one. And I want to, like, when did you decide to move to the newest one, and what is the main purpose for that one?
So I was actually like my first portfolio, the one that was one page. I was specifically targeting small companies, specifically crypto, specifically small projects, specifically startups. I was not gonna go into like big corporate, and I knew it. So that portfolio is specifically made for those quick scrollers, and like I knew exactly what I was going into. Now I am considering like a bigger corporation, bigger, more like structured organization. So I've created kind of like a balance where right now it's like exactly as Vivek said, a very like balanced portfolio. I, I believe showcasing on the first page a bunch of different things, and then when you go into it, you see like more in-depth case studies.
And before I go into the other Vivek's question, I know that you put it highlighted two projects on the top. Why did you highlighted those versus the other ones?
So I've highlighted them because I've had like pretty extensive case studies for those. So if like the recruiters wanted to read more, that would be the one that I would want them to read more about. Uh, which I think like those two projects showcase like very well exactly what I am about and how much like I've done within like one project. Other projects were smaller or didn't like, or I was working on one thing or the other, and so like I chose myself like to showcase like the depth that I can bring in those like two pinned projects on the top.
And I feel like this is really important for people to notice if they're sending and sharing their portfolio, the case studies that you want to people to see should be on the top. And I feel like this is what happens sometimes with people. They send you your portfolio, and the first case study is not the strongest one and is not the one that is aligned to the company. So you need to have that in mind. And as again, if we are designers and we are sharing our work, these are the thoughts that should be included when designing and when taking a decision of what are the components or the content or anything that going to go into our portfolio. It has a specific why and it has an intention. So this is an important one, highlighting the job that you wanted to highlight. Mm, and again, people, if you have questions, make sure that you put them down on the comments, so we can go through those. Another form, Vivek, how can I ensure my portfolio reflects not just technical skills, but also my unique design philosophy and approach?
Yes, this is a good question. I would recommend showcasing like a different page to like showcase that. However, I wouldn't put it right into their face on the homepage. You don't want to bore them. Most recruiters just like want to see what they want to see, even though like you might value something else. Like recruiters still value like what they value, right? So and the homepage should be like pretty clean and just showcase like your different projects from like at glance perspective. um, More of like card view, so like different cards showcasing different projects, that's important. But then if you want to really emphasize like your unique design philosophy and approach, you can like have maybe a separate section in the end or a different page, but I wouldn't like shove it down their throat right in the beginning of your portfolio.
And I feel like this is an important one, in your portfolio as like your process and your unique design and approach is like how you're showing those skills like tangible on your portfolio. I feel like that's such a powerful one. It's not that you have to tell people I'm good at this and this and this. It's like, can you see my portfolio? I'm good at it because you can see it and tangible when you're going through my design. So I feel like that's really powerful. And that's why I keep insisting about the intentionality of our work and how we think things and how we design them. And this should be clear in your case study, in your portfolio. Sometimes, and I get it, we want to find a job and I need to put something really quick for people to see, and that's what is going to show. Yes, if you have experience and you have done this for a while, maybe this is more like organic and you can show your process and the way that you think in your portfolio. For some of us, we need a little more thought behind the work and what we wanted to show. So I feel like this is such a powerful way of doing it, is make sure that your portfolio is showing your way of thinking and your design process on the design. I don't know if this makes sense, Vivek. I hope so. What do you think, Christina?
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, another one for Vivek. I mean, I see people here online, but the only person that has question is Vivek. How do you say AI tools influence in the future of design portfolios, and how can designers stay competitive in this evolving landscape?
Yes, so I've heard a lot of like people being scared of AI, or that like AI is gonna take over their jobs. But currently, this is like very unlikely if you're a good designer, because design is not only creating the images; it's like everything that goes into it, from like user research, like prototyping, testing. There's a lot that goes into design process than just like pretty images. So I wouldn't be scared of AI like taking over your job or influencing much, but it is very important to use AI, and I think it's a very powerful tool. Like I use every day that helps a lot, and even in creating design portfolios, even writing the case studies, AI really can help a lot. You can like show the AI, like the case study that you like, and ask to write like a similar structure of it to your specific case, and it would like write it very nicely and showcase exactly like what you need to say in it. It can also like help you evaluate your work. I sometimes like feed my designs to AI and ask like for feedback, or for like things to improve. And the same can be done like for case study. So you feed the designs, you ask, oh, what's good here? What should I make sure I write in my case study, and etc. And I've even had experience with working for a company that valued a designer being able to use AI to like their advantage. They were like providing the tools, um, like to use and utilize, and you need to be able to use them and like know how to navigate the AI space, because even though like they exist, and yes, supposedly anyone can use it, but knowing how to really will elevate you. Like even ChatGPT, like some people just don't know how to ask the right questions, and they get pretty bad responses. But if you like actually learn how to navigate the AI, and there's so many cool tools, even for designers, available there, that will actually elevate you, like in the sea of other designers.
Love it. Thank you. And one question from Julian. Hi, Julian. How do you think I should feature a personal project related to my target industry at the top of my portfolio, even if it's not my stronger case study? Is a personal project. Okay, this is a good one. Yes.
Uh, I would showcase the like professional case study first, uh, just to show like how you work, like your processes, how like you've like how you've done before, like if you worked in a team, if you worked remotely, all of this like matters in a like good case study. So I would still show like a good case study first, and only then would feature a personal project. So for like targeted industry, it doesn't really matter like how much you've done for that like industry, but if they scroll and they just like see it, or like they notice it, that like would elevate you. So they would see it and like, oh, okay, he's done this. Okay, this is good. Okay, but then they scroll up, they see your main case study, but he also like can do this. Like he works very well, and he has experience in this industry. So I would still showcase the case study in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like showing the strongest case study at the top where they can see your process and your experience is going to be stronger than working, like having experience on that space or environment. And I mean, if they are looking at your portfolio, that means that they look at your resume and then you added some of that information already in your resume. So I feel like that's important, how you utilizing both of them, like again, pairing up your resume with your portfolio and trying to show off the right information at the end of the day. I wanted to talk about a little bit about personal projects. And even though you show your personal projects at the end and you have stuff that is maybe not related to design, and I quote it because I feel like whatever skill that we get and whatever things that we do are going to influence us as our work as a designers and how we work with others. And how do you mention these personal projects? And I feel like again it's all about storytelling. Is like, yeah, I did this by myself because I was bored, compared to like I gain a new skill and blah blah blah. Like, how do you show off those personal projects as a strength instead of like something just on the side?
So I actually don't even mention that it's a personal project when I put it into my portfolio. I just put maybe like less information, maybe not even a case study, but just like a good visuals, like one or two words explaining the project itself, but not saying much about it. I don't like talk, oh, this is my personal project and I worked, because I still like want to be seen as a professional, and like the first impression matters. So like your first impression is, oh, they worked on so much, then like personal projects, you can talk about it on the interview itself. When they ask you specifically about this project, you can mention, oh, by the way, it was a personal project, and I came to this like this, blah blah blah. But you don't have to mention all of this in your portfolio.
I love that. Yes, exactly. It's all about the storytelling and what you're saying and what you learn and what are you gaining and what are you bringing all this knowledge at work and how you utilizing all that information. I feel like that's the most powerful at the end of the day. So yes, I love that. Um, okay, I feel like we have time for some more questions. See if people still have them. So, how I can position myself as a strong candidate from remote roles in the global design market, particular branding and visual communication.
Yes, so remote roles like positions, they value seeing your communication skills front and center. So they need to know that you can work independently and manage your time. So it would be cool to showcase maybe some tools that you've used, like for like time management, for product management tools. If you worked in a team that used like Jira or like Monday or whatever you've been using, that would be like cool to also mention, like maybe a screenshot of like a work process, or like that you like work like this, done this much. um, yes, and ensuring like in the case studies, that you like communicate effectively and really describe like what you've done, what you've talked about. It will also show that you can communicate effectively even through a screen and like through a computer, not just like in person.
I wanted to add something in here is, and I feel like this could be for not just branding and visual communication, but of course any role, is like what is your social media presence and what are you, how you telling your story. This is part of your branding and this is part of like who you are. And yeah, some people maybe won't have guest speakers and do what I'm doing at the moment. Maybe it's a blog post or posting something that I have learned. Again, how are you showing that you have the skills? How are you showing your point of view around your visual communication? And you can do this through social media, really effective, and we see it all the time everywhere. Is like how you connecting and networking, and this won't be like directly as like a connecting with this case Kristina and talking about her experience and her how she likes where she works or not. This is a different type of networking that is opening who you are to others, showing the way that you work and your vision and how, yes, your brand. And I feel like that would be powerful and is used again from everybody at the moment. Any other questions before we go? I feel like people saw my questions. I really enjoy, honestly, the way that you're thinking about the different companies and the work that we should be showing or not. And when I go more in depth with different guest speakers about storytelling, I come always to a lot of research and a lot of intentionality about the stuff that we're working on. Not sometimes we think that storytelling is to put all these amazing story, yes, but you have a lot of juice and a lot of research behind of why we're doing this and what is intentional of what you're mentioning and the type of work that you are showing is because you have done your research. So yes, I feel like this is what it's coming back to. How much are you learning of not at the end of the day? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Anything is to finish from you, Kristina?
Well, I think we've covered a lot today. Yes. So thank you everyone for coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where people can find you? Mm-hmm.
Where people can find me, I'm on ADP list. And yeah,
Yeah,
also
on
on
LinkedIn. I mean, I put
yes,
you on
also on
LinkedIn
LinkedIn.
too. Yes.
Yes, I'm not sure how we can share this.
I
Um,
will put it, I mean, on LinkedIn, you are already tagged on LinkedIn. And I
mhm.
could add this on YouTube that that's where most of the people at ADP list is coming. But one last question Vivek is having is where did you create or what do you use to create your portfolio?
Yes, I used Webflow, and I think it's like a great tool. My favorite one of all. Before I've tried Wix and I've tried Framer as well, but Webflow has been my favorite so far.
Okay, nice. And before everybody we leave, I'm going to share again what are the events that are coming up if you miss it in at the beginning. So next section will be this coming Saturday. We are going to have Han a little more about his storytelling. And the good thing about sessions on Saturdays, we do small groups at the end, so you will get to chat with other participants. Then we have Claudia on Tuesday, portfolios around product management. Then we have Juan, tech recruiter. He's going to be telling us what to do, what to show off, and what our recruiters are looking for. And last one, that is our closing up for our Power Up portfolio Power Up. That is a case study showcase where participants are going to be doing a short 15-minute presentation, and we are all giving feedback so they can make it better. I'm excited about this. Thank you again, Kristina, for joining me today and share your knowledge with everybody. Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.